What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ review. Just got done seeing It Chapter 2. Yep, finally got around to it. I know it's been out a couple weeks, but I just went to the 9:15 showing tonight and saw it and wanted to share my thoughts on it. So what are my thoughts on it? All right, super long movie. Very long, too long. All right, It Chapter 2, I'm telling you, it was too long. It was a long, drawn-out experience. And here's the thing. Like, you talk about a movie like Avengers Endgame. Yeah, Avengers Endgame was 3 hours. But Avengers Endgame is a movie that I can plug in, and I can watch, and I can enjoy it, and I can do that over and over and over again. Whereas this is a movie, It Chapter 2 is a movie that felt every second of its 3 hours. Guys, there was a lot of fat in this movie that could have been trimmed out. That's not to say that it wasn't a good movie, but there was a lot of fat that could have trimmed out. They could have trimmed out. This did not have to be a 3 hour long movie. And then I look at like It Chapter 1. All right. It Chapter 1 is a movie that I can enjoy over and over again. And it was a standalone movie that had a beginning, middle, and end that ran in a reasonable amount of time. It Chapter 2 did not run in a reasonable amount of time, and it was predicated on the idea that you had watched the first one first, which is okay because it's called It Chapter 2, but at the same time, I'm never going to just plug this DVD in at home or this Blu-ray in at home and just say, I'm in the mood to watch It. Let me plug in It Chapter 2. That's probably not going to happen because It Chapter 1, number 1, runs in a more reasonable time. And number 2, It Chapter 1 is a superior movie in almost every way. There is good stuff about this, though. All right, a lot of good stuff about this. Jessica Chastain is fantastic in this movie as Beverly. Fantastic. And the whole cast is fantastic. Bill Hader, where did he come from? Where did Bill Hader come from? He was great in this movie. He brought the dramatic chops. He was funny when he had to be, but he brought the dramatic chops, and Bill Hader was great. Great. Like I said, the whole cast was fantastic. All the Losers Club. The whole Losers Club was great. So, the narrative is where I had my problem. The narrative was overstuffed. And it was so overstuffed that it slowed down the stuff you wanted to see. You know, you wanted to see their face off against Pennywise, and because the movie is so overstuffed with this, with their looking for their artifacts. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but the whole second act is them looking for artifacts. And because they spend so much time looking for these artifacts, Pennywise is barely in this movie until the end. And it's a 3 hour long movie. So yeah, you know, I had some pretty significant problems with this movie. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. Pennywise was great. Bill Skarsgård knocks Pennywise out of the park. Again, he's just barely in it. The cast is great, but the problem is the cast is best when they're all on screen together, and they're very rarely on screen together in this movie. The flashback to the kids, there's a lot of flashbacks to the kids in this movie. The problem is that they have aged to the point where you've got to do digital de-aging on them, and some of the digital de-aging isn't so hot. Some of it was pretty seamless, but some of it wasn't so hot. So was it scary? You know, was It Chapter 2 scary? There were parts that were unsettling, especially a part involving a girl going under the bleachers. You'll know it when you see it. That was very unsettling. The funhouse scene, that was rather unsettling. But the problem is that everything that's unsettling has nothing to do with the Losers Club. Everything that happened to the Losers Club, none of that was unsettling. Even the imagery, like there's a scene where Ben is supposed to be drowning in dirt, and there's a scene where Bev is supposed to be drowning in blood, and this is supposed to be happening concurrently. Even that imagery that is supposed to be horrific, for whatever reason, for whatever reason, it didn't feel scary. And that might be because we're so familiar with the story of It. We know who lives and dies because we've seen the original 90s miniseries. We've read the book. We know who makes it and who doesn't. So when these lead actors are put in predicaments that are supposed to make us feel tension, we don't feel the tension because we know they're going to get out of the situation. But all the tension that I felt and all the fear that I felt in this movie happened to characters that I wasn't familiar with. Unfortunately, that also meant that these are characters that I had no emotional attachment to, other than the fact that maybe they were kids. I think we all have a little emotional attachment to kids, right? I mean, even if they're nameless kids, it's still a kid. But we're not emotionally attached to the character. So yeah, there was some fear, there was some tension, but none of it involved the main characters. There was a couple plot twists, especially a big plot twist that involved Bill, and that plot twist came, and then it was resolved very quickly. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I feel like maybe I should watch It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2 back to back, because maybe I'd feel differently about it. But right now, I'm just like, It Chapter 1 is so superior to It Chapter 2 that you kind of come out just feeling a little let down by it. But it still wasn't horrible. It really wasn't. I mean, it really wasn't. It was an enjoyable watch. It was long and it was a labor, and I had problems with it. So, I mean, this is a C+ movie for me. I give It Chapter 2 a C+. It wasn't the worst thing in the world by any means whatsoever, but given the how great Chapter 1 was, it's just hard not to feel let down here. And I felt really let down. So that's my take on it. I'm sure by now most of you have probably seen It Chapter 2. What were your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for being here at the Oki Review, where we talk about all of the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Every single day